that was the property. We took it out to real estate events and started kind of touting it as, hey, we want to buy this property. We need a partner that has money. And my very first time touting it, I went out to Toronto, went up to the mic at this organization that used to let you pitch deals. And I was so nervous, and I had a property, and I'm looking down at my notes, and I said, I have a property that, is in the best place in Canada to invest. And the speaker and the host of the place cut me off and said, wow, probably not the best way to start when you're on the other side of the country in a totally different city.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it was like, I was just like already shaking like a leaf, and that just totally threw me. Anyways, did my little 30-second pitch thing. Thought I flopped it, went back to my hotel that night, almost in tears, walking through the lobby. Checked my email in the lobby because at the time there was no, smartphones, and had an email, someone saying, hey, heard your thing tonight, kind of interested. This one couple that had asked us about our opinion on a certain place, and they were going to take our coaching, and they didn't, and that was fine. And we still helped them, with our opinion and what they should do. And it was a great place. However, we saw them a couple years later at an event, and we were just kind of catching up. And I said, so did you buy that place? Oh yeah, we put $90,000 into a basement suite, blah, 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 blah. We did this and that. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm going, I'm like, is this the same property? Isn't this the property that, you had already, there was a suite in it already? And they're like, yeah, that's the one. I'm like, in this road and this place and whatever. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, but you were grandfathered in with that. Because at the time, there was a grandfathering in process where they didn't have to do the second HVAC. They didn't have to do the second entrance. They didn't. And so they were like, there is. Eventually, it came down to, if we had been able to, be involved on a weekly basis with them, hands-on coaching, we would have saved them. They would have been able to do a $30,000 renovation instead of a $60,000 renovation, and still been legal. So for us, we didn't have the money to do anything on our own from the beginning. So my thought was, I really wanted to spend the mistakes, use up my mistakes on my own money before using someone else's money. And so I wanted to find a way to do it myself. But it was 16 months into the progress of me really delving into real estate, and we still hadn't been able to do anything because I was so determined to use my own money. Finally, I got over that hurdle in needing to make mistakes on my own money, and finally decided to use other people's money. So that was our first property, was actually a joint venture property. It's really time in real estate that really creates, and you've heard us probably rant about this before, we call it the cash flow to wealth program. It's just, you've got cash flow, and that's great, and that's awesome. But really, it's wealth that you're looking for. And that's only going to come when your mortgages are being paid down after years and years of your tenants paying them for you. Rents have now gone up, markets have, balanced, all those things. But that takes time. And so if you come into real estate, you spend a couple of years in it, you sell, you get a little chunk of change, maybe you pay for a holiday, whatever, that you're still working your 9 to 5. You're still, trapped in your pension that didn't exist, or whatever it might be. So it's time in the market that really matters, and that's where your team comes in.